All right, we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll start with the roll call.
Trustee Stewart.
Here.
Trustee Sewell. Yeah. Trustee Bell.
All
Paul.
present.
Sorry. Trustee Gunther.
Here.
I can't read my own writing. Supervisor Cox.
Here. With that, we'll have our blessing by Pastor Brian Harris. He's of the Lead Church in Collinsville. Brian?
Good evening. Thank you very much for allowing me to be here today. I am a new pastor here in the state and new pastor in Collinsville. We are leading a brand new church that we are planting in September. And so I just wanted to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here tonight. Our church is located right on Brown Street and Keebler, so we're really excited about what is getting ready to happen. So if you would be praying with us that September, our launch just kicks off and we have a great time. We're just really looking forward to what's going to happen and being able to be a part of the community of Collinsville. So again, thank you very much. I did want to share something out of James chapter 1 really quickly. And it says this, it says, "Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing." But today I want to look at this passage right here. And it says, "If you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking. But when you ask him, be sure that your faith is in God alone, not to waver, for a person with divided loyalty is unsettled as a wave of the sea that is blown and tossed by the wind." I want to encourage you today as you're talking and making discussion and having all the things that you guys do on a basis here in this meeting, to be thinking about what it is and don't be unsettled on one way or another. To make sure that you follow the example that has been led before us and allow God to use you to make those decisions, not just for what's best for maybe just yourself, but what's best for the community as a whole. So I just wanted to do that today. Let's pray together. God, I just thank you for the opportunity to be here. I thank you for these people. God, I thank you for the people that are leading, and God, I thank you that you are directing them and guiding their path, God. We just ask that you would touch them right now, God, that you would show them that you are directing every step along the way, God, and that we would just pray that they would not be weary in while doing, God, that you would allow them to know that you have guided every step of the process of what is going to happen in this meeting and future meetings. We thank you so much for what you're doing in our lives today. We ask that you help our community and be with us as we move on in a new way, in a new direction, and go in the forward way that you have asked for us to go. We thank you so much. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Pastor Harris, thank you so much. Thanks. And before we move on with public comment, I just want to mention, some of you may notice, and I know the board has noticed, and I think that we should at least bring it up, but I had a resident come to me and make a pretty big complaint. He says he's been complaining to the last two supervisors about the board using the nice office chairs, and those were donated to the card player club, I guess a few years back. And I said, "Well, sir, will that make you happy if we don't sit in those chairs?" He said, "Yes." So I think I'm with the board. We could sit on cinder blocks. My thing is, we're here to serve the taxpayers, and so we're going to be sitting these chairs now. So, and I hope he's happy. So I just wanted to let you know why on that. Moving forward, public comment. You can just step to the podium there and make your comment, and just need your name, and just keep it under 5 minutes if you could.
Hi, my name is Ron Jetta, and I have a few items here. I did a Freedom of Information request, and I got part of it back. But one of the things I want to point out, I received a letter or response back by email from Jennifer Keller, the office manager at the Highway Department. And I had requested of some information concerning contracts that the Highway Department had outstanding. And the response I got back was the Council Highway Department is its own entity. The Highway Commissioners are not legally required to obtain board approval for any decisions made concerning intergovernmental agreements, which is one of the things I'd ask about. And I also, she stated that I have included the current intergovernmental agreements, and at this time, some are in negotiation for renewal. I'm not really sure what that means. I mean, if you got a contract, I'd like to see the contract, and if it's being renewed, that's fine. But I didn't get the contract, so I don't know, maybe the attorney or somebody can look into that. Also, I know that there's supposed to be an intergovernmental contract outstanding with the Madison County Transit District for a trail, Formosa West Trail extension from Greenbrier and up to the Formosa West, and I didn't receive anything on that particular agreement either. I was pretty sure that that was in place. The next item I just wanted to mention is, I think last time at the budget hearing, I made a comment about having financial statements. And I know you approved bills last time, and you're gonna approve bills tonight, I would assume. But I'm not sure how you can be approving bills when you don't have any financial statements on a monthly current basis that shows your revenue and expenses and the fund balances. You may be approving bills that end up causing the particular fund to be in a negative balance. So I requested this information through a FOIA request, and I don't know if you have that now, but I didn't see anything on the website when I looked today. And again, I'd encourage you as board members, not only for the public, but I'd encourage you as board members, again, I don't know how you can pay bills and conduct business when you don't have any kind of financial information out there. I included in the response back for the FOIA that I did, there was an intergovernmental agreement between Collinsville Township and the Collinsville Township Highway Department. And it had to do with just some information related to, just general information. But again, the agreement, it was not dated and it wasn't signed. So I don't know, when this agreement was put in place, when it was signed. But if it's not dated and signed, I'm not sure how good it is. So again, I'd encourage the attorney and the board and the attorney to look at that to see whether or not the agreement actually, is in force. Also, one last item is, I mentioned this once before, not this meeting, but I think a prior meeting. I know that as a board, you have obviously new board members, and I had requested to see a resolution concerning the authorization of the board to board members. I think it's a supervisor and the clerk to sign checks. The response I got back was a copy of the state statute with a small section that said the supervisor and the clerk are the ones that are allowed or are to sign. But that's no different than if I'm in an organization and it says the treasurer, the president, or whoever signs. Whenever there's a change of officers, you guys may be okay, but the banks are out there, and I can tell you, having worked in the banking industry in the past, there's not somebody in the back room with green eye shades checking every one of these checks that come through. But at some point, somebody's gonna look and say, hey, this is a different signer that was on there before. And again, I have your attorney look at this, but I would strongly suggest that you have, pass a resolution, who's authorized to sign, who isn't authorized to sign, because again, the statute says the supervisor and the clerk, but if you have the supervisor who's not in the office or out incapacitated, or the clerk, doesn't look like there's any other option for anybody else to sign checks. And by passing some kind of resolution, that would help assist in that, again, from the standpoint of making sure you've got, your bank, you're in good condition with the bank. So that's all I had. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ron.
My name's Al Woolen. I got a couple of questions to ask the trustees and Township Supervisor. We have a memorial picture spot out here in the hallway, and I noticed that the couple pictures, I think 2 or 3 pictures that have been taken down. I'd like to know why they were taken down, if it's a memorial. And the pictures are from Jim Stack and Mike Foley, and the old football coach here that was on the board years ago, that was a trustee. And I'd like to know, is there a reason why they were taken down? And are you gonna put them back up, or do you have another spot for them? Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
You can lower it if you need to.
I really don't need this. I have a voice that carries, so if I'm too loud back here, somebody just wave. My name is Diane Disbrow, and I had a question for Derek, and I thought I'd bring it to the meeting and ask everyone. I asked about the banners on Main Street. Who takes care of those? How do you get those banners? How are they paid for? When do they change? Any kind of history. I don't know anything about it. I've lived here over 20 years, and now I'd like to see some pride banners in June for next year. So that's my concern, that we have pride banners at least on 1 or 2 blocks of Main Street. If we don't go over to the next street, okay, I don't know how they're paid for or anything. So I bring that question to the township. Anybody know anything that?
It's a city. City council.
Okay, well,
And people pay for them themselves, like individually.
the
So
citizens.
families will pay for it.
Okay, well, who organizes that?
Contact the city.
Yeah, so what, I didn't get your name, and I
That's okay,
Sorry.
Diane Disbrow.
Disbrow, okay.
Disbrow.
Yeah, and just so how it works is the public makes their comment, and then we'll respond afterwards, and it just kind of keeps the thing flowing or whatever, but I'll definitely respond to you.
Okay. Then I had a different comment, and it was regarding the paper, the Times Tribune paper. And I noticed you have a representative here tonight. If someone from that paper could interview our people, because I looked at some of the content in that paper and I don't think it's correct. So, I'm a participant in the senior center here, and I'm happy to be back after the pandemic, and everybody's done a great job. And I just want to make sure somebody gets the credit for all the things they're doing.
Thank you.
Okay.
I just want to say one thing. I've been in Collinsville Senior Center for probably, going on 16 years, I guess. But anyway, everything is going, I think, smoothly. And Derek and Brandon and Cinda the cook, I think they're doing a great job, and they're getting things going, and as much as they can do. And it makes the senior center, the senior citizens, I can't even say, senior citizens happy when they can come up here and do what they do. You know, the bingos, the exercises and all that stuff. That's all I got to say, I guess. I mean, I'm nervous, but.
Yeah, when you make a comment, just remember your name just for the minutes or whatnot. You're fine. We know you're Arlene.
Oh, well.
Scott Rayo, 205 Westview. Only a couple things. First, yes, it's great to see a lot of life back into the senior center, and I concur with the other comments that were made. The activities are up, attendance is up, and it's no small measure to the volunteers who've been committing a lot of their personal time and resources toward making that happen, so I thank them, and I'm grateful I get a chance to come up once or twice a week and just check it out. So I want to talk mainly about the bylaws. First, I appreciated the fact that you've been working on those and have those out, and nice cleanup effort. There's only kind of two things I would caution you on. The first one, watch your process in regards to appointing a trustee during an absence. I know that you talked in the campaign about making sure that we were very transparent. So make sure that the timelines in regards to that, they weren't really spelled out a whole lot, are reasonable. And then the second thing I wanted to mention in regards to, be careful in regards to the public comment portion. I think putting relative limits on the amount of time that people speak is a good idea, but please try to exercise restraint and judgment as far as, cutting people off, because sometimes everyone will have a different bent or whatever. If those are the only two things that I really noticed that at least expressed that I wanted to make comment about tonight regarding that. But other than that, just keep up the great work, and it's a process. I know it's going to take time to get through everything, and I think that's all that Ron is looking for too, is just kind of help along in the process. So thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight.
Thanks, Eric. Anybody else? Just feel free to step up. If there's nobody else, going once, twice, sold, okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda. And just so you understand, the folks that made comments, we'll address those comments on our agenda under, if the trustees want to make comments, they can do it there, and then I'll do it on mine as well. But consent agenda, doing it a little bit different to move things along. As you see on your agenda, you have A, B, C, and B. But anyway, we're going to have a vote on all of these. Okay, this is just the minutes. But if anybody has any questions or any corrections, you can definitely bring those forward on any of the minutes. Anybody see anything? Okay, so then I'll take a motion to approve minutes.
I motion that we approve the minutes.
I'll second it. Roll call.
Trustee Stewart,
Yes.
trustee Sewell. Yes. Trustee Ball,
Yes.
trustee Johnson.
Yes.
Supervisor Cox.
Yes. Okay, moving forward to the approval of bills. And because it's very relevant, and Mr. Jetta made a great point, how can we be approving bills when we don't know how much is in the funds? And as we've been working on this, Ron, and it's been something that I've asked for 4 years. And Jim can tell you, he was in with our accountant and our office manager. They've been working really hard. It's not perfect yet, as I explained before the meeting to Matt, but it's almost there. We're making sure that all the lines, and Ron, I'll let you see this too, but it has every single line item. It has what our budget is, how much we've spent so far, and the percentage to the budget. Also on the very top, which I think is really cool, it shows how much property tax revenue has come in year to date. And I take those bills straight up to the bank, and so I see it, and so far we actually don't have a lot. It's only 15% of our overall revenue, but those come from the county. I didn't know how it works until I got in there, but now seeing this, I hope everybody can understand. And as a trustee, I was always just uneasy, because I'm like, well, what are we even doing here? And so I want to make sure that this is really good moving forward, and I think this could be something that we could even probably post on our website, that the public could see exactly where we are to budget year to date, and all that good stuff. So you guys got this, and I think it's pretty good to that. So we'll move on to the approval of bills.
So, as you pointed out, actually in the future, we'll be seeing that on a monthly basis. Jim Ferris, our accountant, comes in as we close out the month, and so you'll see that, like, in this meeting, you would have seen June, you'll get that every month, and we will post that on the website. Right now, we're posting like these registers with all the details. That's not really necessary, so will be published in the financial statements, which,
Much
as Derek
better
said,
information.
are much, it's
Yes.
much more useful. So before you, we have, you have the worksheet that shows you all the bills. There's actually under road and bridge, that's actually subdivided into road and bridge equipment. So the first thing you'll see, under general assistance, we have a total of, our total bills are $7,197.54. So guess we'll take a motion on that first. To approve that.
I'll motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All right, trustee Sewell,
Yes.
trustee Ball,
Yes.
trustee Gunther,
Yes.
trustee Stewart,
Yes.
supervisor Cox.
Yes.
Okay, next, under road and bridge, like I said, it's broken down in two pieces, so we'll do the road and, let's do the town fund first, since I have it in that order. The town fund, you'll notice those bills between the general, the audit, the IMRF, the insurance, and social security and Medicare, those all total to $153,754.26. So if we can get a motion to approve those expenditures.
I'll second.
That's you.
All right, roll call.
All right, trustee Ball,
Yes.
trustee Gunther,
Yes.
trustee Stewart,
Yes.
trustee Sewell,
Yes.
supervisor Cox.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's take the road and bridge, the primary portion of the road and bridge there, the general, the permanent, social security, Medicare, the insurance fund, and the IMRF, totals up $220,217.56.
Any questions? Okay, if not, I will accept a motion.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
All right, trustee Gunther,
Yes.
trustee Stewart,
Yes.
trustee Sewell,
Yes.
trustee Ball,
Yes.
supervisor Cox.
Yes.
Then under the, road and bridge equipment fund, you'll notice we have $51,485 in monthly expenditures.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, sir.
And that was 485.
485, yeah,
Okay.
$51,485.
Gotcha.
I give you this?
Yeah.
I'll second.
Thank you, Ashley.
All right, roll call.
Trustee Stewart,
Yes.
trustee Sewell,
Yes.
trustee Ball,
Yes.
trustee Gunther,
Yes.
supervisor Cox.
Yes.
And then the last is the senior center bills, which, for the building and then for the lunches totaled to $4,804.49.
And I just like to let everybody know too, out of that 4,000, which is great, we're getting a nice grant right now from the county for providing lunches. So we ask, the lunches are free, but we do ask for a $3 donation. We think that's fair. And so anyway, I just want to let everybody know that we're actually getting a lot of that money back too.
And the lunches are great.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
All right, can we get a motion?
I'll motion that we approve those bills.
And I'll second.
Roll call.
Trustee Sewell,
Yes.
trustee Ball,
Yes.
trustee Gunther,
Yes.
trustee Stewart,
Yes.
supervisor Cox.
Yes.
All right, thanks, everybody.
All right, thanks. All right, reports by officers and committees. We'll start with Kathy, our road commissioner.
Yeah, first of all, on the FOIA, I feel like I'm talking too loud too. We do have a signed one. I'm thinking what she accidentally did was, because she had them both on her computer, was sent the one that was, she typed up and was unsigned.
Okay.
Between Derek and I, we have signed one. The one that, Madison County, I had given her that one, I'm just thinking it was, she just missed putting that into the or into his email, but I'll make sure you get both of those tomorrow. She's new, she's on a learning curve, I'm not making excuses, I'll take it on me from now on. I'll make sure that I gave her the information, but I'll make sure before the emails go out that it's all there. And as far as the renewal one, what she meant was, I'm meeting with Craig Short, we've had a couple of meetings on it already, but we're redoing our, intergovernmental agreement. We're taking some things out and adding some things, so, those were made up by, Larry and Larry, years ago, and so we're redoing those, and that's what she meant by renewal. So we don't really have an active one, we're in the process of redoing it. We met with the city of Collinsville yesterday. We're doing a project with them on Iran and Greenbrier, but because we're working on our respective roads, we're not working on each other's roads. The attorney said we don't need an intergovernmental agreement for that, but there's a drainage problem there, and so we're gonna work on that together to alleviate it. Also too, right now we're mowing, the guys are out doing a lot of, we get repair orders that we make up anytime there's a problem. So we're trying to get those done. Monday, we're gonna start, rotomilling out in Lakeview Acres to get those roads ready to asphalt. Woodridge Court was rotomilled the other day, and they're gonna start repairing those roads to get them asphalted too. Saturday, we had some bad storms, and Friday and Saturday, and we got called out Saturday for a tree that was all the way across the road on Clay School, and a small tree that was out on Lakeview Acres Road. So those calls are taken, and then I go out and the guys go out to take care of the problem. So anyway, that's all I've got for tonight. If there's any questions.
I guess I might be a little off, and I'll look more into it, but I haven't spoken to Ron, just so you understand, for a while actually about this, and I had thought about this a year or so ago. Would the board be involved with any of those intergovernmental agreements, or is it our duty at all to, as far as like how much money that you're doing work for, say, the state, how much you're getting paid for that, or should we even know that, or?
Oh, I mean, I'm more than happy to give you that information. It goes up every year. We get an increase. Right now, I think it's around 31,000 a year we get from the state.
Is that what he was asking for?
Right, but the road district is the own entity. The commissioner is the person that makes the decisions. They have to stay within their budget to make those decisions, but they do not need approval from the board for any of
For
that.
the decisions, the day-to-day decisions on
Right,
that,
they don't need approval for intergovernmental agreements, for anything that I put out for bid for purchase, or as long as I stay within my budgeted lines.
Perfect. So on the FOIA request though, since, would that be something that he could FOIA and that we should provide him, or you should provide him, as far as what that, you just said 31,000 or something?
I gave him that information.
Oh, he does have that information?
Yeah, it should be in your state information.
Wasn't in the packet.
Well, it should be in the state one. I'll check it
I'll look
tomorrow.
again, but
I'll check it tomorrow, make sure you got what I gave her. And the problem is she has the ones on there that aren't signed in the one, so I'm not, trying to make excuses. Like
I just
said,
wanna try to
no.
figure out, I understand if it's not, the board's duty, but I also wanna understand that if a FOIA gets submitted, cause that's been a big thing in my
Right.
office, that we respond and, cause that could get us in trouble if we don't respond to
Oh,
these
we
things. So,
responded, I'm just.
I understand
yeah.
with the information. So,
Yeah, and, I agree that you guys should be able to see the budget, the amounts that are budgeted and what the expenses are. I look at that all the time, so I've always keep an eye on that myself, but, it would be nice for the
Okay.
board to have information on that too. I don't have a problem with that at all. But I look at mine, sometimes not monthly, but at least quarterly. Quarterly maybe in the first 2 quarters, then it's monthly after that.
Right.
Cause you wanna keep an ey on things,
Everything's
closer
looking
eye.
good though, so.
Okay,
Thank you.
alright, thank you.
Thank you.
Assessor Flynn.
Hi, I'm gonna make this quick because I've got some personal things I have to be taken care of as soon as I get this done, so. We got our books in, they'll be published sometime, we don't know when, but our books are in. We got roughly about a quarter, we try to do a quarter of the township every year for reassessments. I will tell you that, and we're on schedule for that in spite of the COVID. And, so that's done. We don't know when they're gonna publish our stuff. There seems to be a problem at the county. They don't have anybody to do the farmland stuff anymore. So basically, it's all up to the county at this point in time. As far as the Your income coming in from I know a tiny bit about that. What I've been told is, for some reason, there are stacks and stacks, mail bags full of tax bills sitting around up there that have not been cashed by the county yet. So I don't know what the issue is there. I assume they will get it because my taxes are part of that, because they haven't been posted to my account. One was, all the rest of them have not been. So I don't know what that issue is. But I would hope that they get that done, because obviously that money should be transferred out, not just to this township, but to every other taxing district within the county. Let's see, what was the other thing? I met with Trustee Ball and Trustee Gunther earlier. We're going to meet again. They're going to get to go to the field next time. They found out about the multiplier this time, and I think, as I told them, you better expect that we're going to get some big multipliers coming down the pike in the next couple of years. Nothing we can do about it, and I explained that to them, and I think they understood that, because the way the multiplier works, for one thing, but secondly, the inflation rate on houses right now, you cannot possibly keep up with it. This is very similar to 1980, where we were down at 25%. There's just no way you can do it. You don't have enough. You want it done, it'll cost you so much money, it's ridiculous. And so we will do it, we'll fix it the same way we fixed it back in 1980, which was to work about what the last year's multiplier was, last year's level assessment plus any multiplier. That's the only way you'll ever bring it back together. The good news is, what I worry about, our coefficient of dispersion, we're right around 5%. That's really, really good. So that's what we really shoot for. That means everybody's being equalized. So other than that, that's all I have.
I appreciate you meeting with them, and I guess my only question is, right now is, and I can ask maybe you guys, and I actually asked Matt, I'm still, same way as when I was trustee, trying to figure out the disparity between Edwardsville and Collinsville, because we're all here fighting for our taxpayers, just like you are, and we want the very best. And, so I've been sending out Freedom of Information Acts to all the townships to find out just how many employees they have, how much do they spend on assessing properties. And so I don't know, did you guys get into that discussion at all?
We did a little, yeah. I mean, he can talk more about it. He articulates it very well, but I mean, the differences in, you can explain it a little bit better.
If you look at, Edwardsville is an outlier. Don't ask me why. I think a lot of their business goes to the county, because they're right there in the county, no matter what anybody claims or otherwise. Because the people, instead of going to their office and asking questions that we have to take time with, they're going to the county.
I guess my real answer would be, we don't really know about the other townships at this point, right? I mean, you get FOIA'd some information.
Yeah. But I will also tell you, I don't want to cut you off, Matt, but is that if you look at Wood River, Alton, especially Alton and Granite City, we're in the same basic price range they are, number one. And secondly, every township is different. We have the highest percentage of taxable parcels. We're the largest township. We have the highest percentage of taxable parcels. Edwardsville has, I think, the lowest percentage of taxable parcels. They don't have to tax some of them because they're exempted, because they're owned by the state of Illinois, the county, churches, religious organizations, and so forth. They're tax exempt. We've got this. I think we are the smallest and certainly of the large townships of how many we have to actual percentage of taxable parcels. So that's an issue. The other issue we have that we really have been following for 40 years is the mine subsides issues. And we have to look. We look at every one of those houses, and there's over 100 of them that have mine subsidence damage. We go back to every one of them every year, and we're slowly picking up some more. We're going to pick up some more because of just the nature of Collinsville and the mine subsides. We have it. When I started in office, the only place we had it was on Bory Lane.
Now we got it on, Portland, we got it down by the Dairy Freeze, we've got it, in a number of places. I can show you places in Maryville that's got it. I can take you out and show you a place on the interstate where there's a big dip, and that's from the mine subsides. And we go back out to those each year, and those are time consuming. So those are some of the issues we have that a lot of other townships don't have.
So I can say, do you understand that my concern, like when I see this, like in Edwardsville, do you know how many employees they have?
I don't really know, I don't care.
So-
My job is to do this place. I do this efficiently and as cheaply as I can do it, and do the job properly.
All I'm saying is I just want you to understand that I also, like you, we just want the very best for our taxpayers, and we're gathering information with an open mind, and I know the trustees are as well. So I appreciate you coming tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Pete.
Senior Director?
All right, hello everyone. I want to report the Senior Center Council met for the second time last Wednesday, and we discussed a few new exciting ideas. So we're finalizing our plans for a float in this year's County Fest Parade that the council and other seniors are excited about. We are hoping our roads department will be able to help provide a truck to show off the trailer maybe. Also, Roads and Bridges was here and they fixed our gutters, so we don't have any rain coming down anymore, so thank you. We're also looking to start back up with bands and dances in the next few months. So I've been keeping in contact with some of them, and I know they're still not traveling. I know Swick isn't, so I'll stay up on that. Coming up on July 23rd, we have the pharmacy manager, Kelsey, hosting a clinic here from the Walmart, the one with the newer one. And so she's going to be here helping out with check blood pressure and medication questions. So she'll be here about once every 2 to 3 months from now on. Also, each Thursday at 1 p.m. we have a movie day in the main room with our huge unused projector. So if you have a movie suggestion, just let us know. We will have popcorn and snacks available each time. Finally, we had a really awesome 4th of July weekend kickoff party. I want to thank the family of Elsie for the generous donation during the party, and Kathy Wilson for all her games, prizes, and baked goods that she has donated. Also, we'd like to thank Fairmont and Collinsville Food Pantry because they've been a big help lately and through the pandemic. So.
Yeah, and I'd like to second that, especially the Fairmont Food Pantry.
Fairmont has just been absolutely wonderful.
They have been.
They above and beyond.
Since I have you up there, or since you're up there, I know somebody, and it was mentioned in public comment, has commented anonymously in the paper when it comes to the senior center that it's like a party time and we're spending thousands of taxpayers' dollars. You're up there, you're the one that sends me the bills. How true is that? How much money have we spent of taxpayers' dollars on these parties, I guess we've thrown?
Zero.
We haven't spent a penny.
It's all been donations and it's all been volunteering.
And
yeah, go on, sorry.
I just want the board to know, under senior programs, the one that we added for 30,000, zero has been spent on that. That's there for when we actually put some bigger programs in that maybe it's a bus ride to Grafton or Merrimack Caverns or whatever. So the things that you've seen so far with all the baked goods and all the balloons and the party, things like that, that's all been donated. And I want everybody to know that, because it should be not criticized, but it should be appreciated. And it hurts the people that spend their time, their own money, when they donate their own things, to read that. And it's not, I can handle it, but other people that aren't used to that can't handle that.
It's very hurtful.
It doesn't matter, but I'm just saying it's not a positive thing, and we're doing so much positive stuff here at the senior center that, I wanna draw more people in, you know, so, and younger seniors. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be 80 years old to be in here, you know, so, anyway, that's all I got.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Brad. All right, Jim? Oh, I'm sorry, I did it again. Trustees, sorry.
I'll start. I'd like to thank Pete. I think he's already stepped out, but Matt and I did meet with him last week for a good hour. We have another meeting. We're going to go out in the field, see kind of what they physically do to get a better understanding, so we can make educated decisions further down the road about budgets and manpower and issues like that. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Want me to go?
Sure.
So with general assistance, Gabby sent me a report. So I'm trying to figure out, I'll talk to her about having like an infographic or something fun that people can see and visualize. So she explained that with LIHEAP, the heating season is between September 1st and May 31st is when families usually ask for assistance with heating. This heating season, the township helps over 500 families with assistance. They're also excited because the 8th annual back to school giveaway is coming up, and so they'll start advertising, so be on the lookout for that, for requesting donations for school supplies, so that will be coming up. The confirmed pickup time will be August 5th or 6th for when families can come pick up items. Last year they helped out over 400 kids, and I know a lot of the staff, this is one of their favorite events that they get to do. Let's see. Also, they are helping seniors and individuals with disabilities get their license plates discounted through the Illinois Department of Aging. Let's see. The Emergency Rental Assistance Program, they're trying to help clients like get the paperwork, cars paperwork, get assistance as needed. So getting that back up and going. They received $7 million for emergency rental assistance. $7 million, that's incredible. And they have sent 76 applications to be processed for Collinsville residents since March of 2021. So they've got that going. But yeah, so general assistance and ERAP, which is the emergency rental assistance program, is 52 for this past month. LIHEAP is 37. License plate discount is 31, and then other general assistance is 71. So I think having some kind of nice infographic or something that people can see, and then we can put up there. But thank you to Gabby for getting that to me, but it's exciting.
And it is, and you're doing a great job with Gabby. You guys work well together, and what I'd like to say that I didn't know, we actually get paid as a township for these, like this LIHEAP. And LIHEAP is energy assistance, so if there's somebody out there that needs assistance on that, the money comes from the county, and then Collinsville Township actually gets $6, whatever it is. I just went to the bank and cashed a check for $3,100, and that was money from Gabby and folks in the office doing it, getting money back to the Collinsville Township. Same thing with this rental assistance that the county got all the money for. So that needs to be said, and if any seniors need help with their license plates, discounts and stuff, they go to the township building, okay? Thanks.
Yeah.
I just wanted to thank Pete again as well, and Derek, I mean, to that point, I think we're just more anxious to learn more. You know, this is one meeting, you know, not only about our assessor's office, but about the surrounding assessor's offices and how they compare. So, I mean, that's the plan. And also I wanted to bring up, we were a little remiss in this month, but we are looking to do that community and small business spotlight. So we have a few folks that we've already met with, Clint and I, and we'd like to put one on the agenda for next month. So we'll get that rolling.
Awesome.
And as far as the senior center, I don't have anything to add other than what Brandon already brought up, so.
But you can add anything if you like about the township, if you had something.
I live in it, we're great.
That's right. Okay. Clerk?
Okay, Derek mentioned this LIHEAP application. I gave you a copy of the letter that showed you what what we got paid, and then copied that check, we got $3,100, and that's basically for the girls working, processing the application. Just so you have that. We also did, receive some correspondence from the Sunrise Kiwanis about their, upcoming, fundraiser in September, so we invited a representative from the Kiwanis that'll speak at the next board meeting about that. We want to support them. The only other thing I mentioned to you before, I'm typically gonna update you on FOIA requests. In the month of June, we didn't receive any in June, but we have plenty in July, which you've already heard some about, so, anyway, that's really all I have.
Okay, now to some fun stuff. The presentation of proposed revisions to the township bylaws and procedures, and for folks that not sure exactly what bylaws and stuff is, that's like the rules that the Collinsville Township and this board abide by, okay? And I wanted to give a special copy. I didn't get to see him earlier. If somebody can hand this to Phil. And the reason I'm giving it to Phil, he's been coming since I've been here and griping about them, and so he deserves a copy to see exactly what we do, and I wanted to get him that.
The gold foil copy.
That's right, yes.
So if you want, I can spin through these because I'm most intimately familiar with them.
I think if you wouldn't mind, can you just bounce off of me? I got some highlights to make it really quick.
Okay. Well,
is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine, but let me just kind of give you how it all goes together. The bylaws, as they existed, consist of three basic components. So we've kind of redone each one of those three components. The first component is the section regarding needs, monthly meetings, regular meetings, special meetings. The second section were all our financial policies. I combined them all in basically one group as financial policies. So there's 4 sections, and so you'll see at the very end, when you get to the end, there's we'd be approving all 4 together. Previously, the way it was set up, they really only approved the investment policy, and the other were just pieces kind of hanging out in there. And then the final piece is the ordinance regarding the public speaking, basically at the meetings, conduct during meetings essentially on the public. So those are the 3 parts that make it up. The one thing you'll notice at the end, and that's why we're not really acting on these tonight, the way these things are set up, and it makes perfect sense, is that so we're presenting to you tonight potential or proposed revisions to these bylaws, so then we wouldn't act on those until 30 days from this point. You don't want boards to be able to just come in and say, hey, I want to change this, we're just going to change it today. So this way, and we did post it on the website, which I sent you a note, so because I know you mentioned this. So so on the website, if anybody wants to take a look at them, the proposed revisions, and then we would be acting on them in the August meeting.
So there is a lot, and as the trustees can see, I know the public can't, but we got it in red, the changes and what it was before. There is a lot. I don't want to bore everybody and go through each one. He highlighted some. I do want to mention, because it came up, it's on page 5. The pages aren't numbered, but talking about when a trustee, this was a problem in the past, hopefully it's not a problem at all with this board, but when it becomes necessary to replace a trustee, the supervisor, or clerk, the public should be notified such that adequate time is allowed for members of the public to submit a letter of interest in filling the position. The Board of Trustees should not act to replace an elected official at the same meeting at which they accept a resignation. That's still fairly broad. And again, anything my biggest thing is, you gotta wait a month. Let's hear from the public, see who's out there, who's interested, who wants to serve the community the best. This is elected, we've all worked really hard to get here. So anyway, that's basically that. Anything in here that you guys see that you want to make even better, we have another month. Just send me an email or Jim an email, and we can throw them in there when we vote on them.
My only concern would be like definitions that accompany some of these things. So like convenient location. I mean, what is a Walmart? I mean, we need to have like what's the definition of that? What's the definition of bona fide absent or a bona fide emergency?
Right. Well, I mean, a lot of the stuff, you have to be a little bit loose about things. You can't be overly restrictive, especially when you get into areas of public comment. I mean, before, they referred to it as input from residents, and it specified that you have to be a resident or own a business to address the township. Well, that's overly restrictive.
Right.
I've sat in on a lot of training sessions, and all these changes that are in here, these are not just like pulled shot from the hip. These are all based upon what the statutes say. But those are typical things, but you have to be careful about being overly restrictive on things. I would point out one thing that's kind of new in here, which was important down on the first page, sections 9 and 10. You know, prior to this, the board was meeting electronically. They had no policy established for meeting electronically. So that's an important part of it. I mean, in a normal meeting, if you can't make it because, you know, you're in a hospital bed and you want to participate electronically, we can set that up if we know that in advance. But normally we are not, unless there's, and section 10 really covers that, and this is the new law that came out when this all happened, you know, for real emergencies like a pandemic. Then we will have in here procedures that cover exactly how those meetings are to be conducted. And again, not shot from the hip, it's all from the statutes, so.
And then on the financial part, I'll just add, it's a lot of stuff that maybe not everybody understands, including myself, but I had our accountant come in and actually go through it, and he spent hours going through it. These things hadn't been updated, I don't believe, until, was it 2001 or 2 or?
10, I think a lot of things.
They're 10 years old at least, our bylaws, so they're out there, they're for the public to see, and we're totally open. If you want to, you know, hit up any trustees or myself, feel free to. Okay.
Yeah, so please, if you have anything you want to change, make comments and let us know, because I'd like to have them all cleaned up and ready to approve at the next meeting.
All right, now the real fun part. Discussion of the updated Collinsville Township website. And I'm gonna let Matt, and this is our website guy, Craig. Everybody say hi, Craig.
Hi, Craig.
And I just wanna really thank him and Matt for all the work. They actually approached me and said, listen, we wanna help. And Craig has went above and beyond. Haven't paid him a penny yet. And so anyway, he's giving us a great deal. I want everybody to know that too. And if, Brad, maybe you can hit the lights. I think you hit the button on the right. On the right.
Right, just hit that.
Hit it.
Push the bottom once.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
So basically, me navigating the site was a nightmare, and that kind of what drove me, especially since I was working in the IT industry. So I asked Craig if he could just take a look and see if, you know, what we could do to improve. And, you know, first of all, he said, well, it's not secure, and, you know, there were a number of issues. So I won't go and steal Craig's thunder, but basically we came up with a plan, and Clint and I did. And what we wanted to do was offer us, especially, the opportunity to phase this out. And if there was something that we didn't like in a particular phase, or we needed to, you know, get a different resource, et cetera, it would allow us to do that, not just all our eggs in one basket. So we wanted Craig first to evaluate and secure the site, which he's already done. In fact, he's already gone above and beyond that and created some enhancements to the current site. Phase 2 would be changes and enhancements, and we'll kind of talk a little bit about that, and then ongoing maintenance and updates. So who's going to do that long term for us? So phase 1, evaluate and secure. This is something that Craig's already done. He reviewed our current site for functionality and vulnerability. Again, there were dead links. The site itself was not responsive, and responsive meaning it doesn't automatically adjust itself for the type of format that you're using, meaning a PC, a laptop, a mobile phone, or a tablet. So that was accomplished. Updated some of the dead and embedded links. There's still some work there that needs to be done. And then as recently as this morning, Craig was able to negotiate with GoDaddy and I won't steal that either. I'll let you go ahead and give us some detail on that, Craig. But so phase 2, we're going to get input from each department, or we'd like to get input from each department or tower as to how they would like, or what they would like content-wise on the website. I know it's kind of been jumbled up lately, so Craig will walk through a brief presentation of how it's going to look at least now, and then the plan is to enhance that and recreate and expand. So again, update the links and frequently asked questions, and then ongoing maintenance. Again, 3 phases. If in phase 2 we decide we don't like Craig's services anymore, we still have the opportunity to say, hey, we're gonna go with someone else to maintain this long term. We just did this for convenience and the ability for the trustees or for the board and the township to have that decision making. So, and then again, just critical updates would be he'd be responsible for, or that person would be responsible for. Meeting minutes and videos, and Craig will walk through what he's done with those already. And then obviously archive and clean up. There's still a lot of old videos, old content. Basically, Craig, and I'm not going to steal anymore. I'm just going to let you take over and show us what you've done. And
That's good.
I am the steal.
That was great, but to recap real quick, Matt, there was 3 phases.
Yes.
Okay, the first one was to look at what we had and evaluate exactly what we had and the problems with that. The second one was to present something just to go with. And the third phase is to get the input after it's live from Kathy's department, from Pete's department.
Nope, back up a little bit. So phase 1 is already done, basically.
Right.
That was evaluate and secure, and part of phase 2 is already started. So basically, he took the original content of our page and secured it, transformed it, manipulated it, made it look better. That's where we are today, and he was working on making that go live as of
So basically, we're ready to go live.
It may be live. I don't want.
We're almost ready for phase 3.
We're almost ready for phase 2, which would be solicit the input.
Okay, gotcha.
And then work on enhancements. Phase 3 is just ongoing maintenance and upgrades.
Phase 2 is
okay. Yeah.
Still an ongoing project. This is what we got so far. I put a JavaScript calendar. It's going to look different than this when I'm finished with it. This part right here.
Can you start at the top, maybe just there we go.
Yes, this is the top of it. These are the links. I moved the flyers and stuff over to an event page. And they got clickable links. You click on here, it'll download the Word file, open it in Word. That's an application. And back to school. Click on the flyers, it enlarges them. A big page that was a real problem was that transparency page that had everything going everywhere. And I'm not completely finished with it yet, but this is it right here. Kind of sorted everything out. I moved the board minutes, which were kind of spread out all over it, to here. This is all the board minutes.
And when I was talking about cleanup, obviously we have some retention requirements for those meeting minutes and videos, etc. But eventually we'll archive and clean some of that off of there.
The monthly expenses I moved over to here. This is all, and you just click on it, and it downloads the PDF. And the other one that was a real problem was the video and audio meetings were kind of all over, so I moved them to their own little separate page.
And you said moving forward on that, he had showed me, once the audio comes off, we gotta figure out how long we actually have to keep the audio from the previous year up. But once it's all videos, you'll actually see a square of the actual video that you can hit play on.
Yeah, he'll embed a player into it. Right now, there are audio files and video files that are different formats, etc. So different.
So here's one thing, since we're on this, those pictures are quite grainy, and I also want Mr. Woolen to see that page if he could. The in memory of, we have a special page for that. But anyway, what I was going to say is I need updated photos for some reason, and I know you all got updated photos, but we need the larger image. We only have the small image, and so they're a little bit grainy.
If I click on it, I can click on it to expand the image, but if I click on it, this is the size of the actual image.
So we just need your original disc, or however that came, if it was an email. and I was gonna send out an email tomorrow.
If I try to blow it up, it gets even grainier.
Take that off the screen.
You get fired on his first
So
day.
anyway, and just FYI, we're gonna get, it's on my list of things tomorrow, Brandon, up there, and who else are we missing? I believe we're missing our attorney. Yeah, I emailed you that today. Okay?
Transparent, or the transition. Also, all the other site, all the links to phone numbers, et cetera, were all dead links. They didn't.
Yeah, if you click on
Navigate.
it, it'll, on my computer will ask you if you want to use Skype to call it, if you click on it. So it's all, and the email addresses are the same way, the email addresses that are on there. Let me go back to officials. I still gotta do a little bit of adjustments on it, but,
So there's one on transparency page. Yep, right there.
sure. Yeah, it'll ask me who I wanna, what do I wanna use email. So it's all gonna be completely responsive and, easy to access.
Show the responsive all the way down to,
I don't know what to do that on here.
oh, because it's just the,
There it is.
okay.
When they say responsive, that means that's what it will look like on your cell phone.
Yeah.
Because I didn't quite understand that as well. Our old website, it looked the same on your cell phone as it did on a laptop, which is a jumbled up mess if it's on your cell phone. So.
This is the old site.
Downsize it, you only get half of the website.
Right, that would what it would look like on the old.
This
on
is
the
what it
old
looks
website.
like now.
So, are we ready to go live with that? Where are we at?
Very close, very close. I just need to make a few adjustments. Yeah, I spent about 3 hours on the phone with GoDaddy. After I contacted you, I had to call them back. And, I ended up getting, they gave me a free SSL, certificate. That means it's no longer gonna say that it's not a secure site when you go to it. And, usually they charge for the cPanel, that's where your files are stored. I was like, how do I get to these files? And they said, you can't get to them because the platform that's currently being used by the current website is no longer supported by them. They said that the files are not there, they're only on the server, you can't actually access the files. So that was the problem that I ran into today.
But they were trying to charge us more and you
Yeah, they-
negotiated it down on behalf of the township.
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Wow, that's awesome. So, I really appreciate the work. I think it looks really good from where we were, and I think as quick as we can get that live, and then each department, Kathy, and then Pete, and then me, we can go through there and find out what we want changed, or if we like it.
Just to touch on that, anything you want changed. So format and structure wise is gonna stay the same.
Mhm.
If you wanna add frequently asked questions or maybe a different tab, so not opposed to adding tabs if there's something that varies by department, but structure wise, I say, roads wants their pictures here, I mean, it's gonna be, pretty much the same format, make it easier for our
Yeah.
changes, less expensive for our
Yes.
changes.
The look and feel of every.
It's there, but
Every department will be the same.
Yeah, continuity across it.
It also has the social media links here on each page.
And again, keep in mind, this is only the current site moved into the future. So
Yes.
the future site will be completely, and you wanna show a little bit of that, the parallax, just a little, this is,
See how it's gonna look on here? There it is. We could turn something like this into the landing page for the,
so the thought is maybe each different, tower has, you can click here and, but
yeah,
anyway.
maybe it's a background of Maryville, and one of them is a background of Collinsville,
Exactly.
Township, and one of
Yep.
them's, so.
I started kind of experimenting with it.
So what's parallax or who is parallax?
That's just the style.
That's just
here.
the style of
Oh.
site.
Style.
But our host is.
GoDaddy still,
So that was our host and that will remain our host?
correct.
Oh.
No change in any costs.
Yeah.
Secure and with editing functions now.
All right, well, thanks, guys. Yeah, and we're excited, so just, it might be up tomorrow. Could, Okay.
Had a couple days.
All right.
Matt, email your PowerPoint. What's Craig's last name?
Johnson.
Johnson.
Okay, moving forward then to new business. Approve the auditor for the year ending March 31st, 2021, and the township annual audit. If you were here at one of our first meetings, I had mentioned that wasn't really happy with the last auditor and how we got so many bills all at once. So I reached out, and I think it's good practice to reach out to other auditors and actually change the auditor from time to time. We've been using the last auditor for, I believe, almost a decade. So I think that was good, and I reached out to our county auditor, David Michael, who's a great person in office up there, and he suggested a couple, and I reached out to those. And so I got the best bid from this CJ Schlosser, and I actually found out that they did our audit. I'll pass that out to the board. They did our audit in the early 2000s, okay? And so I talked to our accountant, and he was good with them as well. And so what this letter is here, it's like a letter of engagement. It has everything that they're gonna be doing. And like I said, I talked to our accountant. He says that's exactly what we need. And on the back page, the important part is we're actually saving a few $1,000s for the exact same thing. That's $11,500 for this audit. And I told them a few of my concerns and the board's concerns going into this. So it's a brand new auditor. He's going to come in here with fresh eyes, and I'm excited about it. So all I have to do is sign the back page, but I didn't technically have to have the board's approval, but I still want it. So, do you guys have any questions about it?
You want a motion?
Okay.
Brad, is that a motion?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I guess that was, I'll second.
All right. Roll call.
Yes, trustee Stewart,
Yes.
trustee Sewell,
Yes.
trustee Gunther.
Yes.
Trustee Ball,
Yes.
supervisor Cox.
Yes. Okay, approval of application for Collinsville Township shuttle bus from Madison County Transit, otherwise known as MCT. I'm gonna request to move this to the August meeting. I spoke with, I believe the director is his title, but SJ Morrison. And he's actually in the Smoky Mountains, and he said that he wanted to be here. And he says that we're gonna have a great partnership. And I said, that's good enough for me. And so anyway, we're gonna move that to the August meeting. Okay. And the last thing on the thing here is supervisor's comments. I'll try to make them brief, but I do want to hit on as much as I can. I like to talk. Let's see, there is a couple positive things going on already. You know, we got a new lower budget, we got now a new auditor, brand new website, new bylaws. But we have a few other things I want to mention. Our clerk and I, we went and met with the city of Collinsville, and I want to thank Mr. Ostrowskis. We don't always agree on everything, but on this, he really helped. For his public comment about the TIP money and why hasn't more money been spent on this side of town. And when I went and spoke at the meeting, Jim was there, I said, Collinsville doesn't stop at Highway 159. Most of the people that use the center here are Collinsville city residents, and they completely agree. I also want to thank City Manager Mitch Bear and Derek Jackson. They've been so helpful so far, and they've agreed that as long as we can get this project in before the end of the year, that they're going to pay 40% for the senior center, and it's huge. That along with the county that I've been in touch with for another grant, things are looking really, really promising, and I'm so excited. And this lot that is badly needed and some other repairs, it might not cost as much, you know. And so anyway, we now have a suggestion box that any citizen can leave comments or suggestions. And I don't know, let's have some fun with it. It's actually sitting right up there. Let's do it. Brandon, can you grab that?
It's like a game show.
Yes, please.
40%, clarify what that.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have the key.
So, 40%, we were talking about the parking lot. Okay? Now, I wanna go back to them, and because we have some AC units that, I'm kinda torn on this right now. The AC works great actually in here. A lot of the people I talk to say it's always very comfortable. So, but they're very old. I'm not sure if they're original, but they're very old. And our office manager keeps saying that they're gonna need replaced. And I have that in the budget, but if that TIF would go for that, okay, maybe we do replace them. You know, me as a homeowner, I lean more towards you run it until it dies, you know, but if somebody's willing to pay now and that this TIF ends at the end of the year, so maybe that's something that we discuss. You know, I don't know how many more years it has in it, but it might be some savings.
Right,
You
TIF
got
one
the key,
expires
Derek.
at the end of the year.
Yeah.
TIF one expires at the end of this year, so in order to get money from TIF one, we have to have a project approved and submitted to the city council, and they have to approve the money. So on the parking lot, that would include land acquisition and cost of actually paving. They would approve up to 40% of that, the cost. So and any other things we could get them to approve. So, but it has to be approved by the end of the year.
Calendar year?
End of the calendar, because TIF one it's at the end of its life.
2 already.
There's 3. Let's read. What the heck? And if they're bad, I'll stop. But I also, well,
He didn't give me a key.
let me just say this. Let me just say this though, because it is important. It is important because, you know, sometimes people take criticism. I used to be like this, and we all get our feelings hurt. But sometimes it's good to think, listen to the criticism. Not all of it's correct, and that's how you get better. You know, so if there's something in here bad about me, or just, you know, I can take it, and not all of it's correct, just like we read sometimes. So that's all I gotta say. But says day 1 bus trips. That's an idea. I like it. See museums and other bingos, casino, horse races, Fox Theater, Eckert's Farms, restaurants. Like it. Monthly drawings for free bingo for a month. And so I like all these, you know. So anyway, I don't have to give you my opinion. I'm just, you know, so okay. Those office chairs are only for the card players. I've been complaining about this for 3 years now, and no one has ever listened. I doubt anyone will even read or care about that suggestion, but it's not right. Okay? And my last one, I'm a little more concerned about this one. I was at the last meeting, and I'm very concerned about the tax assessor and how he's sending employees into people's yards in front and back to take pictures. What if someone trips and falls on the property? Will the property owner be responsible? I have a dog, and I'm scared if they let it out while I'm gone. I could not imagine losing her. I mean, imagine if the dog got out loose and the animal control found it. Would the homeowner be fined, or worse yet, would the dog be put down? I also heard the assessor say he has been doing work in other counties. What are we paying him for? Let's see. I have stopped in the office 3 times, but I haven't been able to speak with him. He's left, and so I'll pass that along. So anyway, there's a suggestion box, okay, and we're here and open to everybody's suggestion, okay, and we'll always take it into consideration.
Likewise, email, phone call,
That's
filter
right.
tap.
Yeah, so we're here for you all. So, and I want to thank everybody for coming and being interested, and we're just continuing to get better every day. So, all right, with that, motion to adjourn.
I second it.
Okay.
Voice vote.
Aye.
Aye.
All right.